Hi, I'm Bill Leckie with Transition Coaches, and I want to talk to you today a little bit about questions that matter. Answering the questions that really matter is a big deal as it relates to change and helping people get on board with change. So I want to share with you 4 questions that you should be asking if you're a business owner, a leader of an organization, or a team within your company or organization, and you know that change is about to be implemented. These 4 questions are a big deal, and you being able to answer them will really help you in making successful and sustainable change. Are you ready? Here we go. Number 1, why are we making this change? Why are we making a change? Why are we making this change? And why are we making it now? The answer to that question in a compelling way is what will get buy-in from the people in your business, organization, or your team. You need to anticipate that they're going to want to know why, especially if you've just come out of a season of good or high productivity. They're going to want to, why are we changing now? Why are we doing this? You need to be able to answer that question. It's amazing to me how many people have not thought this through, and when the question inevitably comes up, they stammer and stutter and don't really have a good reply. This doesn't help get buy-in from anyone on the team or in the organization. So the first question that you really need to have an answer for is, why are we making this change? And all of its little subsidies. Why are we making this change? Why are we making this change now? The ability to give a compelling why is really going to help you. Number 2, who is the sponsor of this change? Who is going to lead in communicating to our business, our organization, or the team what this change is and why it matters, so forth and so on? Who is the sponsor? Who's the one who's speaking on behalf of the change? This is a big deal. Whoever the sponsor is needs to be credible. It needs to be someone that people view and respect and feel like they're going to communicate with them truthfully and honestly and clearly. This is extremely important in making a change. Who is the sponsor? And beyond just the initial sponsor, which is very important, the ability to develop a sponsorship team. That could include team leads, managers, heads of departments, so forth. As we bring them on board, as they begin to understand what we're doing and why, then they become a part of the sponsor team that helps validate and continue to communicate that compelling why we're making this change. So who is the sponsor? Who's going to take the lead in communicating? That's an important question. Number 3, who will experience this change? That's a great question. You really need an answer to this question to do the other 2 things well, like communicating why and so forth. Because your communications need to be tailored to be relevant to the ones who are most impacted. And when I say who is going to experience the change, maybe it's organizational wide. Maybe everyone in the business, everyone on the team is going to experience this change. But it's also possible that just certain groups within the organization, business, or team will be impacted the most. So we want to tailor and craft our communications that stay on point. The messaging is the same, but how we word things and what we address and points we emphasize may vary based upon the group of people that we're talking to. We want it to be relevant communication. So we need to understand and answer the question, who is going to be impacted the most by this change? That's an important one. Be sure you ask and answer that question. Okay, here's where we wrap it up. Number 4, what resources will be required to make this change? We need to think about that on the front end. What kind of training and coaching might be required? What type of finances, materials need to be developed in order to make this change? Thinking this through and answering this question on the front end is going to go a long way to helping you successfully go through the process of implementing your change. So that's a big deal. Think about it. What's it going to cost? What does it require? What resources are going to have to be brought to bear to bring this change about? Okay, there you have it, 4 of them. 4 questions that matter when making change if you're the owner of a business, leader of an organization, or a team that you want to remember. Here they are again quickly. You ready? Number 1, why are we making this change? Number 2, who's going to be the sponsor of this change? Number 3, who is going to experience this change the most? And number 4, what resources will be required to make the change? There you have it, 4 questions that matter. Answering them will help you make successful and sustainable change.